Well, good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It is Sunday morning. It is a day off, a day of rest for our Dallas Cowboys. But let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. The first week of training camp is over. Oh my God. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh boy. So far, so good. No major injuries, knock on wood. And let's hope that we can keep it that way. Tomorrow begins the real work for me as well as the team. Tomorrow morning, I hop on a big old jet airliner headed for Oxnard. Get to LA sometime around noon, and then I got to drive up the coast to Oxnard and get settled in. May do like a little meetup or something or other tomorrow evening after I get settled in and find out what's what and who's who and everything else. But then Tuesday morning, we'll be there at practice. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Friday come back home. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I am so excited. I got so much to do. I got to get packed. But anyway, I'm up actually a little bit earlier because we have some news for the Cowboys, of course. We have Takk McKinley. Takk McKinley, who came in yesterday, had a workout, went through the facilities. We heard Stephen Jones liked him, so that means his contract is definitely, his contract demands are cheap, Takk McKinley, who was drafted by Dan Quinn's Atlanta Falcons, definitely has familiarity with Dan Quinn, and, they brought him in. He's had some issues injury-wise the last couple of years. Last year, tearing his Achilles tendon, I think, around week 11, and it supposedly healed up actually quicker than usual. Before that, he had some other injuries with Atlanta. First couple of years in Atlanta, 6 sacks, 7.5 sacks or so. Third year, like 3, and then the fourth year, 4 games, 1 sack, a lot of injuries and things where he got released and went to a couple of teams and so on. Wasn't doing bad per se in Cleveland. He had 2.5 sacks, 20 tackles and things. But again, excuse me, tore his Achilles tendon. So we heard that he actually met with Jerry Jones, that Stephen Jones, like I said, was definitely very interested in him. But the plan was not to sign him per se immediately. He will be visiting other teams. He's going to the Arizona Cardinals next. Now, for me, Stephen Jones, and we got to start getting used to Catboy. You may not like Catboy. You may think he's the devil. You may think he is no good as far as running the team. We have to get to the reality of the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is not going to live forever. And they will never sell the team. Why would you ever sell a cash cow like the Dallas Cowboys? And so you have to start looking at Stephen Jones doing more and more and more, and eventually becoming the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. So get used to Stephen Jones and the way he's going to run business. And one of the things that he does is he loves cost-effective players. I'm not going to say cheap, but because, business, in construction business, when somebody says they want something cheap, I always say cost-effective. Cost-effective sounds better than cheap. Cost-effective means I can afford it, but it's still cheap. In some regards, the Cowboys have actually done well in the bargain basement bin. Doesn't mean that every single player that they've gotten in the bargain basement bin have been great, but the Cowboys have found more than their share of players that are undrafted rookie free agents, guys that have been on the practice squads like the David Irvings, and guys coming off of injuries like Malik Hooker, and so on. So I can't say that this would be a bad move. This is one of those ones that you have to try out and see. the difference, and Eagle fans constantly get bent out of shape, and it's going to be a long season because, you know what, I'm going to keep giving it to you, Eagle fans. You know, you Eagle fans think I'm scared of you. No, I'm just, understand. Listen, there's plenty of you cockroaches here, so I want to give you something to be here. Yeah, come on, come on. I love it that every time I say anything about the Eagles, you get butthurt and you immediately go into defense mode. Well, let's look at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just kind of saying, if you look at Takk McKinley versus, say, the signing of Ryan Kerrigan, who retired yesterday for the Eagles. Ryan Kerrigan had a lot of miles on him. He was on his way out. They signed him to a $2.5 million contract, and they got 3 tackles. Okay. More than likely, that's the kind of money that, you're probably talking about Takk McKinley. Probably a $1.5–2 million guy. He is a vested veteran who was a former #1 draft pick. So that would be a project. Now, back to Stephen Jones. I'm not sure that defensive end edge rusher is where we need the most help. I am still so concerned about Tyron Smith going down. Maybe this year will be the charm that Tyron Smith doesn't get injured and he plays lights out all season. And if it does, that bodes well for us getting to the postseason. If he does not, that's where I worry, because now we're talking about taking a rookie who's been playing a guard and hopefully playing really good, who's now got to learn playing tackle. And we saw what happened when we were, the mad scientists, and we took Terrence Steele from the right side, who was playing lights out, and he had to go to the left. And now the offensive line, it's not only one position in the left tackle that's messed up, now it's the right tackle. So now we took one weak spot and we made 2. And I'm worried if we have to do that one with Tyler Smith going for Tyrone, now we got a problem at guard. I'm not sold on Connor McGovern just yet. But, who knows? I'm here. They're there with the players every day. They know what they have. But Stephen Jones says player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job. And you're always going to look for guys that can improve your roster. So I can't blame him on that one. And I'm sure there's going to be other players that we'll be bringing in, especially as we get to cut downs on the roster. Cowboys will definitely, with the $22 million that they have, will definitely be in the market for some players. So that's where we are here early this morning. This afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern, we'll be doing our last live stream from the man cave before we get to Oxnard. We'll be doing our Zoom-in call live stream that we've been doing every Sunday since the end of the season. It started out as a vent session because we were pissed off at Catboy, which has evolved into some optimism and feeling good about the team. But before we get out of here, and since we do have our Eagle brethren in here, and the Eagle fans are so on board of they are the team to beat and everything's hunky-dory, I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm only going by what others are saying. And so let's go through and listen from Mike Greenberg's show, which they're talking about Jalen Hurts.
I totally disagree with Campy on this. If you get to the middle of the season and it's clear that the Eagles are a good enough team outside of what Jalen Hurts is doing, if Hurts is having a bad first half of the year, I fully believe you'll see Gardner Minshew. I absolutely think you will. Because, listen, remember that Minshew started a game last year. Granted, it was against the Jets, but he looked great. And they did the right thing with Hurts when and Chris talked about this yesterday. I actually did that Jets-Eagles game last year on ESPN Radio, and the Eagles were a much different team in terms of running the football in the second half of the year because they actually, did it as opposed to
did
before.
it.
So do you believe do you think Jalen Hurts gets the whole year no matter what?
Yes, I think Jalen Hurts gets the whole year no matter what. Because even if he doesn't take a step forward as a passer, you're going to have a top 5 run game because he's an incredibly valuable weapon in that respect. And he can throw the ball to A.J. Brown now instead of Jalen Reagor. You just throw those passes to him instead of him.
But these are the things I'm talking about. Like, if he's not playing great, I don't know that the Eagles are going to want to punt on a season. I don't know how fan base is going to feel about that, just to keep him out there so that you can get your answer on him.
No, but Gardner Minshew is just a high-end backup. It's not like I don't believe that anybody in Philadelphia truly thinks he would provide them a better chance to win.
No, but at some point during the season, if it's not going well, let's just say for sake of argument that the Eagles end up in their first 10 games and they are 4-6 somehow in their first 10 games. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Hurts is the clear reason why. They're not going to pull the plug on it and try to save the season to make the playoffs?
That could be, but I think you could probably say that about a dozen different quarterbacks in the sport, though. The offense functioned at a top 5 level for like half of the season last year because they designed it around Jalen Hurts' running ability.
Well, that was the smart thing that they did.
I think it is likelier that he takes a step forward, if not just because of experience and in a better environment around him, then he tanks the season. To me, that would be very unlikely because that's an excellent roster.
I'm actually a big Jalen Hurts guy. I do believe in what he can do, and I think he will be the answer for them. But just remember one thing. They're not sold either because they have positioned themselves to make sure that they can get one next year if they need to.
They're not sold either, but I think Jalen Hurts is not going to be a regular season problem. Jalen Hurts' shortcomings are going to manifest in the playoffs like it did last year against Tampa and like in the past Lamar Jackson's have in the playoffs. That, I think, is a better comparison than him being some potential backup at the end of the season. That would strike me as unlikely so long as he's healthy.
It's Chris Carlin in for Greeny today on ESPN Radio. Hembo is with us. Of course,
okay, that's enough of that. I'm just enjoying having a little content here for you Eagle fans. And I know we'll have plenty of comments from you guys. I appreciate you. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You guys get mad because I say anything about your team, although you've been here all off-season telling us that you guys are the team to beat, that you guys are great. Okay. Well, I'm just responding to what you guys say. We're going to have a busy day, got lots to do as we get ready to go to Oxnard. Guys, girls, kiddies, you know how we roll.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe for the Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is